welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. My skills in Alpha State totally suck. I don't have access to anything but pretty much the Amar Destroyer for heavy DPS. And I'm trying to train skills for some kind of diversity. But yeah. Pretty much suck. Now, how to go about doing this? Well, what I want to do is put in the best energy turrets pulse that I can. That'll be small, and that'll be we've got three choices. We've got small focus pulse, we've got dual light pulse, and we've got Gatling pulse. And I'll show you the differences in damage and range. I'm going to put in standard S for all of them. Okay, so that's average range and just normal ammo, not anything special. So I get damage per second. That's the one you look for. It's 10.3, and then 10.7, and then 12.4. So ideally, you'd like this. That would be nice. The range optimal for this one is 10 kilometers, 9 kilometers, and 8 kilometers. Now, when you see the fall off, that's the maximum. That's fall off plus optimal, right? So the maximum you'll reliably hit is 13 kilometers for the focus pulse. Now, the important thing is that a lot of rats like to orbit beyond Gatling range, typically. So this won't really hit some of the rats that like to orbit at 12 to 13. So this should deal with the problem. So we'll definitely go with that type. So. Right. We'll get, and what we look for, we'll need their focus pulse, but of course we can't, I don't have the requirements for that yet. And I'll look at compare, click compare. And a warning, always close this when you've finished comparing something, because if you click on compare of something else, it'll combine this and the other and it'll just be horrible. Your main concern is going to click this, only show attributes that differ. Okay. All right, and I go by estimated price, and then I just get rid of too expensive and the stuff I can't use yet. So there we go. So I would most likely pick the second most expensive right there and plug that in. And see me dragging down into the middle here, it'll copy it, so you don't have to constantly drag from over there or over here. Okay, so we'll go to charges, make sure we don't forget, and we will pick multi-frequency. We will pick standard, and that's 8 of them. And since they're crystals and they're cheap, they actually don't expire. These are permanent. Yeah, you'll never have to reload ammo. It's awesome. So the range for that is maximum of 7. So we'll definitely need, let me put in 8 of those. Okay, and our range is standard, so that will be 13 kilometers, right? But if we wanted something with a bit more range, we could try maximum of radio, and that will give us 19 range. But our damage goes per second goes down. So we're 60 DPS with radio. We are almost 100 with standard, and almost 150 with multi-frequency, right? We'd like heavy DPS. Shooting at range is not our preferred method, so we want to close with our target. doing measly damage is not in the cards here. So we'll just leave it at all we'll need is standard and multi-frequency. I guess we'll put in radio just for shits and giggles. There we go. And what are stuff like? There are ranges. Let me reset all, and I'll drag in all the ammo just to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is very helpful. And then we go range bonus. So our range bonus, so infrared, the problem is the damage goes down when we do this. So standard, would it be worth getting this? We'd lose 1 thermal damage. So that's kind of bad, because a lot of the storyline missions aren't vulnerable to EM, they're vulnerable to thermal and kinetic, right? So that's 50% loss of the best damage we're thinking of. So yeah, so we're going to try to avoid dealing with this. So yeah, we'll have all of that. We'll get rid of the ammo. We don't need extra because it won't, there's no durability to this stuff. It's awesome. There you go. Now then, we want, for other modules, is speed. 100% you need propulsion just to deal with this stuff. And how I deal with it is I go 1 MN and bam. I'm not going to look at Dead Space nor Faction. They're just way too expensive. They're just incredible, like in the hundreds of millions. It's crazy. Some of these are in the nope, they're still they're yeah, in the tens of millions. Let's not even consider this stuff, especially at alpha state and at our level, level 1 and 2 courier agent. I'll be at level 3 in a couple of hours. It's probably going to take me 6 or 7 hours to get to level 3 courier agents. In large part because one of the agents corporations I'm running, Caliacotia, has a storyline agent very nearby. So, ta-da! That'll be easy for me to boost that corporate and get to level 3. All right, so I'll most likely we'll need the 7 minutes, please. So we're going to go with that, and we have 14 more power. We are going to put in, most likely, I'll have to get rid of that search thing. I'll probably put in a recharger. I'd like to put in a battery, but I won't be able to fit it, and this is where this button comes in handy. Filter by remaining resources. Click on this. Use it sparingly. Okay, I can do small, but I can do cat battery too. Yay. Let's put in skills to make sure I can actually use it. So that'll be stable, but I've got 7 minutes, so not going to be firing my guns all the time. So I think I'm good. Let's try cat recharger, because they do very well. You'd be surprised how powerful just a plain recharger is compared to battery. This does speed of recharge. This does actual amount of stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Even compared to large ones, it's amazing. All right, so I'll probably use the recharger. plug that in. Okay. And now, if I need to, I'm thinking, should I use a web? No, I've got small guns. I'll be able to hit pretty much everything without worrying about it. So we'll go to low slot. We'll turn off this. Always turn this off once you finish using it. Okay, so we've got 13 power. We'll collapse this. So we need extra DPS. So I'm going to go heatsink for laser. And these are pretty cheap. And we'll put in that. I'd like to put in, I'll put in 2, and then I'll put in, I still want to put in something that'll rep my, because I know I'll be facing a few, and I won't be able to like kill them before they start doing damage to me, but I'm not sure. But just in case, I'm going to use a damage control. So I'm going to actually get rid of that. We've got 3 minutes because the increases rate of fire of the guns. What I'll do is I'll use a Eutectic, and they're pretty cheap. And that gives me 7 minutes. And if I go with multi-frequency, which uses more capacitor, I'm down to 7 minutes. 7 minutes with guns going and Afterburner, I am perfectly fine with that. You are cap stable for sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You will be cap stable, guaranteed. And I have shite skills, right? So, yeah. Okay. Now we go these regs. They can be quite expensive, so do be careful. I counsel people to use the shield rigs with the resistances because they're so damn cheap. Love it. And you know, if you've got 40% resist in your 800 hit points for shield, it'll give you that buffer for really cheap, and compared to anything else you could put in there, super cheap. Like say if you say, why don't you put in a small capacitor control circuit? And it's okay, well, how expensive are they? They're 3 times as expensive. Your ship is, you know, you could probably do that and be cap stable. Maybe you could put something else in there, right? Maybe you could put a tracking computer in there. Maybe that would help. Maybe that would give you more range, right? Would you want that? Possibly. We could go for that. It's only going to give you a little bit. I would rather have the resistances because it's cheaper than go for that. You could go for energy weapons because we do have the power to spare. And we could put 2 of them in. We could put, this is one of them. It's always counseled that you put both of them in. They've got 2, so you've got 1 of them. And they're probably quite expensive. How much is it? Okay, it's not that expensive. And collision accelerator. These 2, it'll max out your, you can't put anything more in, but it will be worth it. Unfortunately, your power grid is crap, and I don't have any skills in the rigging. Absolutely none. There, and then I will go energy weapon grid. Okay, I'm buying it. Worth it. And 1, 2, and 3. There. Okay. And I do have a type 2, which is 2% extra power. So if I had, say, 3%, it still wouldn't cut it. So I won't be able to use these yet, and they're quite expensive. So I'll just tone it down, right? And I'll put in these ones, and I can just rip them out later when I get the skills. EM and thermal. There we go. Voila. There you go. And I don't think I can fit. Yeah, I can't do that. But yeah, this is good enough, and I'll be cap stable. So there, that's how I think. That's how my brain goes about plugging in rigs and fittings and all the rest of it, and choosing ammo and the routines I go through to make that happen, and what's most important. And it's a buffer-ish tank going up against, this is a DPS tank. I kill the enemies faster than they can even hurt me. That's the theory, right? So, early storyline. I'll save that. How much does it cost total? Let's check it out. Should be a bit over 2.7 million. And this one isn't that expensive. You know, 8 million. Not bad, huh? All right, what are we looking at here? Yeah, 2.8 million. Everything's looking pretty good, right? Yeah, that's really expensive, but look how much it's costing absolute on an absolute value. So, oh yeah, big time. So I'll plunk down Iskies for that. Yeah, that's fine. Don't think there's anything else I could get. There is, like, I could get, like, I'll wait, oh, whoopsie, I shouldn't have actually bought that. Whoopsie. I forgot. I was talking too much, so, yeah. Could have saved me a little bit of cash. I'm actually, could I sell that right now? I might as well. I'm going to sell this for, and it's, I've got 8% sales tax, so I'll take the hit. Yep. I should have toggled that. Now, early storyline, let's bring this up. I have 7%, right? I'm sorry, a 7 minutes cap time, right? Bring this over here. Close. Alright. So what I'll do is I'll look for an implant that's cheap. Now, I probably don't have the Iskies to do it. Only 4 million. 801. How much is that one? I've got capacitor management, right? And that's pretty cool. The capacitor 802 is probably 8 million. I probably won't be able to afford it. Yeah, not 10 million. But I can, maybe the 801 will help me, right? I'll try it out. Might as well. We'll see what happens. Okay, I've got 3 million. So we'll plug it in and let's see if this budges. Cross my fingers. All right. So it didn't budge, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, it all I have to do is get that to 0 and I'm cap stable. So it won't take much. I don't think there's anything else. I'm sure there is. Give me a sec. I've already got 602, so kind of need that one. That's kind of helpful. Do I have it? What I'll do is I'll go into 701 and see what we have, right? All right, so not seeing anything useful. Oh wait, control bursts. That's lasers. Oh, we're gonna buy one of those.
Skill training completed.
We'll plug that in. We'll see how that helps. Wait. There we go. Okay, so plug this in. Ta-da! A little bit more, not a lot, but it's a pittance, right? So let's try something else. I doubt we'll find anything. We'll go 901, right? I think this is speed. Oh, okay, repair amount, but I don't have any active repairs, so that would be fun. Be something to think about. Is there anything in slot 7 that is named differently? No, there's not. Okay. Gunnery. Okay. Is this CPU or power? CPU, right. Okay. So I'll probably hold off on the 901. Oh, I'd like to get the repair proficiency. That would be cool. This wouldn't help even a tiny bit. It's 4 hit points. I add this, it'll still be 4 hit points. Repair proficiency, I'd like to get it. It's a million. I don't use it. I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to leave it blank. And the 10001 implants are... Yeah, I mean, it would lower the CPU requirement. Right? Let's go 1002, see if it's cheaper. You never know. No, okay. Never mind. So I'll purchase that. Plug it in. It won't be much. See, I'll save maybe, it'll be 6 maybe? 5. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff you can buy that will help you out. I prefer advising people to get the 3% one, save up your money, probably cost about 20 million, but it'll be a little bit of oomph that will help you a lot. Yeah. Anyways, that's done. Hopefully that was helpful into how I go about theory crafting. There's no advice about dead space or faction because none of these modules in here per se have anything to do that would help with a dead space cheap. There's no cheap dead space stuff for any of this. A few things there are, and it's good to keep an eye out, but that's not for this video. Anyways, have yourself a good one.